So the first thing to note here is that these first terms are an arithmetic progression. They're all 4, increasing 4. And this is, of course, also 4 more. So if that's the first term, if T1, let's call that 7, is the first term, then the nth term here would be 7 plus 4 times n minus 1. It's the first portion of that, and that becomes 7 plus 4n minus 4, or 4n plus 3. And that next term is just 4 more, so that's 4n plus 7. And we can also figure out what n is. If 4n plus 3, I can equate that to 95 and then figure out what the value of n is. So that would be 92. N is 4 times 2 is 8, 1, 23. So we have 23 of these terms that I need to add. So the nth term for this, which is the product of these two, would be 4n plus 3 times 4n plus 7. And then I need to, this is a standard summation problem where n goes from 1 to 23. That's kind of the summary of that in this summation notation. And we can distribute this. This is actually a standard way to do these questions. And if you already know this, then it's easy. But you know, if you're trying to figure it out in the exam, that would be nearly impossible. Plus 40n plus 21. So we're adding each one of these. 16n squared, and then n equal to 1 to 23 plus 21. This would just be 21 times n, where n would be 23. So this becomes 16, and again, I don't know if you know the formula for the sum of the first, the square of natural numbers. It's n times n plus 1, 2n plus 1 over 6. So here n is 23, so that's 24. This would be 47 over 6. And then this is again the sum of the first n natural numbers, n times n plus 1 over 2. So 23 times 24 over 2. And then finally we have 21 times 23. That reduces. You'll see in all of these that 23 factors out. So one way to do this question is that whatever the sum is has to be a multiple of 23. So we can test these answer choices and see which one is divisible by 23 if you want to avoid this computation. So that one is divisible. 80751 won't be. It isn't. 30, actually that one would be 80730. So you can't really use this approach. They did, because how do we distinguish between these two? So I'll have to do the work here, unless there's another way to do it. So 16, I was trying to avoid that, but I'm sure the test writers thought through this. But it's not too bad, I guess, in terms of calculations. 11040, and then 21 times 23, which is 483. You'll see it ends in 7, so it has to be A, but, you know, let's just do our work. I mean, of course, in the exam, I absolutely want to make sure I get the right answer. And I do indeed get 80707. So the answer is indeed A. So it's a hard question. I was thinking of some other ways. I think one method was difference of squares, meaning this is 9 minus 2, 9 plus 2, and then it's 13 minus 2, 13 plus 2. And we can write it as 9 square minus 2 square plus 13 square minus 2 square plus 17 square. But it actually eventually gets you back to this. So it wasn't really an easier method. I still have a suspicion that maybe the CAT writers don't want you to go through just this work. Maybe there's an easier way. So I'll keep an eye out on it. But for now, this is what I have. So summarize, the answer is A.